If you don't know, now you know.
We missed you on Monday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I missed y'all too, but I was in cold New York.
Okay, it's cold in New York.
Oh, it's cold.
Cold.
COD? Like I almost
with no D, just cold.
I almost gave it a K. That's how cold.
Oh, it was that cold. And you from here?
I'm from here. I had to buy some
New York cold. Some New York cold clothes.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
But luckily, I mean, it was a quick trip. Left Saturday night, got there, checked into the hotel. Woke up Sunday morning. It was snowing. It started raining really hard.
Okay.
And then the rain just turned to snow.
I think that's kind of how it goes.
No, ice.
That ain't how it goes.
That's what happened. I mean, I have never.
I've been in the snow, but like
it was raining.
It didn't rain first. I just remember it started. I just remember looking out the window and it started snowing. We was in Chicago.
No, because every time it doesn't start raining first, but it was rain first. It was raining, and then all of a sudden it just turned into snow.
And they say that ain't good because like the rain freeze, and then that's how you get your ice and you get the roads, and like it just get real ugly and bad.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad because it didn't storm that long.
Okay.
And then after that, because if you didn't know, my uncle passed away, so I went for a funeral.
Yeah, sorry to hear that. Sorry about your loss and your family.
He passed away at 89.
Okay.
So he lived I'm gonna tell you this is I'm a little jealous that I didn't get as much time with him as a lot of people did because he was Superman.
Right.
Like a real life Superman.
Yeah, superhero in real life.
So his name is Ralph Pointer. So you can look him up.
Ralph Pointer.
Yes, with the Y. He was a political prisoner. Like he released political prisoners. That was his fight.
Okay, getting people who
he fought for them. He was Malcolm X's bodyguard, security guard.
Okay.
At one point, he worked with the Black Panthers. He challenged the system at every turn he went to. Like the stories that we heard was like no short of amazing.
Wow.
Just about his life and
his life. Yeah. And then not even that, like his dedication to his family.
Yeah.
Right.
And to education.
Right.
So education, it was really big on him about making sure our children knew how to read and was educated. So yeah. Right.
So what part of New York was this?
We were in Brooklyn.
And I really caught my eye when you was like, hey, we really had some members, some real family, some people from, the life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like they showed up for him, like you said, just
like they really came out. So we had people from the original Black Panthers show up and talk about him. They when I say people came from everywhere to speak on his life, it was amazing. Like and like his ex-wife, his wife, he had his wife was Lynn Stewart. She was arrested at one point for helping terrorists, but she actually
to help Black people,
right? But and then she was actually the lawyer for Sammy the Bull.
Oh wow,
Bravano.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, she lost the case, but so that was my weekend.
Oh you had an amazing weekend.
Yeah, and I want
Damian Davis. What's up, comedian Damian Davis?
Yeah, big shots out to Dame, man. And all they do for the community.
Real thing, you wanted to. You said you wanted to. What you wanted to?
Oh! I just want to talk about the last couple of days.
Okay, yeah, what's good, man?
Oh man, it's been a very active Monday to Tuesday.
Yeah, because you've been on City. You was on the steps of City Hall
Monday,
and then in City Hall
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay, talk about it.
So talk to me.
So on Monday, we legislative session started on Tuesday for the state of Florida. Yeah. So what that means is those are the laws that are state laws that govern us statewide. So Monday, what we did was went out on City Hall and asked for them to fund our future.
Okay.
And we was requesting for things like housing, education. The union was out there talking about fair wages,
right?
Because we always talking about people leaving, and you're not thinking about that the assistant staff members of the school ain't get the raise that the teachers got.
Okay.
And at the last minute,
staff,
the support staff was a part of the negotiations, and then at the last minute was subtracted. And one of the things that they said was, Florida has a surplus, and that's off the backs of our teachers and support staff.
The surplus in the budget.
Yes. So that was some of the things. And then yesterday was the community benefits agreement conversation around the gas plant district.
Right.
One of the highlights for me was 86 people responded to the survey. Remember we talked about the survey.
And we've been pushing it, asking people to go.
86 people responded to the survey, and at those 86 people, housing was like the number one thing, one of the number one things. And I've just felt that, thanks to people who were able to make it out. And I made a post and I said, it was a lot of empty seats, dog. This is one of the biggest developments in the United States of America that's happening right here in the Tampa Bay area, right here in St. Pete, the former gas plant. So we don't look at it, as the monumental undertaking that it is.
Right.
Because if we did, there would have been an overflow room.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's so important. It's so big.
Yeah.
Right. And there's like a rush to get to these deadlines and these dates. Right. And one of the things, I was talking about ownership.
Yeah.
I was talking about business ownership.
I was gonna ask you if you would read your
mother thing.
Yeah, man.
You think so?
Yeah, you did solid, man.
I appreciate that, my brother.
I looked at it, I was proud, man.
So on the second hour, I go over my comments,
yeah.
And so y'all stick around because I didn't get it all. It was on.
I know it.
It was only 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And I kind of got stuck at some numbers because I was doing some numbers, and I got some corrections about these numbers that I had put up.
Okay.
Because I was dividing, subtracting, I was adding.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Live on the
right then, because they like, okay, it's gonna be 50 million, 22 million, it's gonna be X, Y, Z. And then okay, how many years? Okay, how much that is? Okay, boom. And I did some more research, so I'll share everything that I came up with.
Okay, yeah. So in the second hour, y'all stick around for it. We're gonna hear Mr. Edmonds' presentation that he made last night at the community benefits agreement meeting. And I just want to go back for a minute and talk about the significance of this. So this is like the second project to use the community benefits process.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know or haven't been paying attention, the New Deal for St. Pete, like back in 2017, when we started that campaign, one of the things that we advocated for was to have a community benefits agreement policy.
Right.
So that when you have these types of developments coming up, like you have to include benefits to the community.
Can I say this?
And it's an ordinance that you have to you have to do this. So without that advocacy, without that work that we did around the New Deal for St. Pete, there is no meetings last night.
So what I want to say is
no input. There is no conversation.
For the people who don't know, the New Deal for St. Pete was a grassroots and grass top community organization that was put together around the time Brother John, you was working at SEIU, but we both was working at SEIU. It was a collaboration, and from that came the one community grocery co-op, the community benefits agreements, a lot of the housing and the renters' rights stuff came up out of those meetings, and some of the stuff that we left off the table still got picked up along the line.
St. Pete Youth Farm.
Listen, everything, it was moving.
There's a lot that was in that, but again, I just wanted to highlight the community benefits agreement piece of it because that was one of the points of progress that we advocated for, and to see the process, that was another part of it, like just seeing the process work work itself out is great to see. I won't say work the way it's supposed to because we still in it. So,
right.
So we don't know if at the end of it's going to work the way it's supposed to.
It's really, and that's what they was talking about last night. Because there's exemptions to the policy that was written in, and if I was listening to it correctly, the Raise Hines group is want to exercise the exemption, and the community benefits team has to weigh out the process and see if the numbers match.
Yeah,
right.
So there's guiding document or a guidance document, and that guidance document basically lists what the benefits are.
Yes.
And what proposed benefits, and it's just kind of like a list saying, okay, this is the general list, but then there's alternative benefits. And so what the process is now is having them is the CBAC is having the staff develop a report to see, like, out of the guiding documents, which of these points does this proposal actually meet, so that we can actually see apples to apples, like, okay, this is what the benefits are supposed to be based on the guiding document. This is what they're proposing, and then you can start filling in the blanks to say, okay, and moving it around. It's like, okay, this y'all proposing to do 50 million, but we want to do X,
right?
And you know what I'm saying.
So I have a question. Why do you think the seats were so empty?
I don't think people.
I think the rain,
and I don't think people. I don't think people understand the gravity of it. I don't think that these meetings have been promoted the same way a lot of other things have been promoted. Okay. Right. There's a full promotion and like almost production arm the city has, and those productions hasn't been used for some of these meetings. And if they have been, it hasn't been spread far. Like the We Are St. Pete campaign, like some of the things that are going on around the Raise conversation isn't happening for the meetings. And a lot of people didn't know when I made that post. If you look at the comments, all people asking what happened, when is this, what happened?
Yeah.
When is this, what happened? And I'm gonna fill it all in, don't get me wrong. And I'm gonna get and fill the information in for people because the meetings are every Tuesday for the month of January.
Right.
So there's only gonna be 1 month. At 6 o'clock, 5:30. Yep. At 5:30.
So every Tuesday at 5:30.
Yep.
From now till January 30th.
Yep.
Okay.
And y'all could just go back to like the last months of the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, and every time we open up, I'm talking about that. So
you see, look at
I'm
you.
I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm saying that so if you go back to the first, 15 minutes of the Tampa
for
Bay
the people in the back
for the past 2 months, you'll hear me say community benefits. Look, I'm gonna read it to you. I'm gonna read it to you.
Yeah, no.
Building on the momentum, St. Petersburg residents have extended opportunity to submit feedback to the Community Benefits Historic Gas Plant Redevelopment following the in-person event that was held on December 13th, ensuring that everyone, including those who may have missed the first session, can still provide input. This was when the online submissions were still open.
Right.
Since then, online submissions have closed. CBAC meetings are scheduled. January, allowing for more public input. The dates are January 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th. For more information on the Community Benefits Advisory Council, go to stpete.org/gas.
Can I say this?
Yes.
You have been, and that's one of the reasons I was there, right? Because of our conversations here. It was a choice of things to do yesterday.
It was.
So, but the reality is 8 people are going to decide the biggest or help guide the direction 80 of the biggest development, and the linchpin and the name of the redevelopment is righting the wrongs of the past.
Yeah,
right.
The theme. Yeah.
So the theme of this development for our community is to correct the wrongs of the past. And what we're talking about is businesses and business ownership. How many dollars is going to go to training? Are we going to have an education component? Is the university whatever they're planning, how are we going to get access to it? You get what I'm saying? And I know people care about this.
Yeah.
I know more people care about this, and they would have came in the ring. I'm about the people I know who care. You get what I'm saying? And they weren't there.
Yeah.
Because
that's why I'm
for
just trying
several levels of reasons, and that's some of the stuff we got to work out.
Yeah. No, it's really real, man. And that's, like that's the Rubik's Cube, but it's work that we're doing. Is like, how do we get people in the seats to actually give their input, give their feedback? And then you mentioned it earlier, like there was a prohibition from that they're working to change that the members of the council, according to the bylaws, the member of the Community Benefits Advisory Council couldn't talk to the community. And so they're working through the bylaws to be able to change that, so that, people can actually have these conversations. We can do public meetings and really have more input from the community outside of the meeting space. But right now, the way that it's written, the only opportunity for you to really give that input was online submissions that is closed, and then actually showing up for the meetings every Tuesday this month at 5:30 at City Hall. So thank you for being there. Also want to give a shout out to the 49th Street Business District. 49th Street Business District. We voted on the name on Monday. And so it's Fusion 49th is the name that was decided on by the group.
What is it called?
Fusion 49th. And Fusion
49. So it's
because
everybody Fusion.
Yeah, we coming together.
Okay.
When you double click on Fusion. Yeah, you see how we merge and yeah.
It's all blended.
It's all blended. Yeah. So we that whole both sides of the the corridor thing. Fancy Nancy, appreciate your leadership.
Good work.
Shout out to Lenny and Mr. Walter and Sarah and Mallory. I'm calling some names. These are like some of the core team members. India has been amazing. So thank you for everybody who showed up and participated. And it's still going. Like, we just getting started, y'all. Now we in the building the organizational structure. We're dividing up the labor. Many hands make light work. We've identified the priorities, things that we can do in the short term, midterm, and long term. And the meetings for that is the first Monday of every month at 6 p.m. at the Gulfport Neighborhood Center. So we're going to be there for at least the next 4 months. And then after that, we're going to start to see about using businesses to host some of the meetings as well.
So I want to definitely give you a big shout out for the work that you did around the 49th Street Business District, down to Fusion.
Fusion 49.
And I haven't been attending I went to some very first meetings when we was talking to this with Councilman member Lisa Whittler Bowman.
Oh yeah.
Before she, and we had these conversations. And I didn't really attend too much else. I think I went to one or two others.
Yeah.
So I really like how Nancy stepped up. I really like how Gulfport, Councilmember O'Hara, right? And these are unlikely allies. You wouldn't think. So one of the conversations I had when I was there is about Gulfport being a sundown city.
Yeah.
And one of the meeting people were asking me, Jabbar, can you talk to an elderly person who remembers when it was sundown city? I said, I do.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, not an elderly
and
person.
It froze him.
Yeah.
Like, he took a second and I seen him process whoa.
Yeah,
it wasn't that long ago, brother.
Lifetime.
Yes, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, I remember,
And that's why this district is so important. I like how the community members stepping up. Brother was there. That's, hey man, I don't even live around here no more, man.
Yeah, brother Aaron.
Yeah, he like, man, I don't even live around here no more, man. But I gotta help this here. And those are the type of people I was talking about.
Yes.
That would go to those type of meetings with, what I'm saying, more notice and more whatever. So
and people go to the meetings if they know the significance of them too.
Exactly.
But when something is already in place, they think that there's nothing they can do.
Yeah.
So when we talk about the dome, the gas plant district, I know. But when you think about it, people
think the deal is done.
They feel like, what's my, they just kind of like, it's something already there. So what they do, they're gonna do anyway.
And that's we talked about that in council about the way that the news media put it out. Like, the Rays and the administration have reached a deal, like the deal was done.
But those are press releases.
But the deal isn't done. So I think it's
a mix.
It's I mean,
and my biggest thing is just to be clear, like when people say it's done, it's done.
It's not.
It's eye-opening to hear them say I got 86 things and 14 people say this. 15 people say this. Oh, well, those are going to be the priorities, and that's how we're going to put them in order. And I'm like, y'all, that's what made me write that post.
Yeah,
because I watched them break those numbers down into who said what, how many was this. It was 2 people for education. It was 2, and I'm like, I know more than 2 people care about that.
Well, watch this though. Here's the other part of it. This is welcome to my world.
I mean,
welcome.
We had at the party. We had the party
because I've been saying this. I don't know if y'all been listening. I've been telling y'all. We talk about voting. We talk about the democratic process, and we think that only means elections.
Yeah.
But 80 people, y'all.
But that's how we was educated. And this is
60 people on 34th Street.
You seen the addresses?
You're looking at. No, I'm talking about like just these different plans.
Oh yeah, how they are sticking loose.
So how we deciding that we're going to remove lanes on 34th Street? 60 people decided that. You know what I mean? And it might not have been 60 because if it was split, if it was 50 plus 1, then that's 31 people.
Right.
That's deciding what happens in these communities, and so a lot of these decisions are being made under the name of community input, and then they have less than 100 people making decisions for 250,000.
So I'll tell you this: people who live here, who was raised and born, get up, please, and make sure that your input is heard, because people who just moved here are showing up to these meetings.
Correct.
People who don't know the history and love this city like you have loved for years and years is making the decision, and they are bringing their influence from wherever they were from to our city. Yeah. So if you don't want our city erasing before your eyes, please come out.
So, and I definitely want to just unite, just get involved. Your voice matters right now more than ever. Don't fall asleep at the wheel. Make concessions, make a sacrifice, pull up, because the work is really just beginning. Right. And we're going to need you. This is going to be a 20, 30-year project. Yep. The projections are saying 20 plus years. But for the last affordable housing unit, it's going to be 2047. Right.
When the last one has to be developed. Yeah. So they don't have to do any by 2030. So those are the conversations they have, and they say, "Wait, no, we need more. We need housing before then."
Like, and if you feel like that,
and then what's the question? What is affordable housing?
That's what's on the table.
Another one of the questions that came up, and I thought it was beautiful. They said, "Okay, well, why are we waiting to 2030 to build the housing? Like, we building the stadium first,
and the housing number one,
housing later, but the housing was the number one priority." And so it's like those types of conversation, those types of questions are being introduced, and like we've got to start to really create and develop answers for these questions, because but again, it's going to take us being at the table, being present, and introducing these thoughts and ideas, because I mean, it's only
And I want to say this: so there were questions that they didn't have answers for. So next Tuesday at 5:30 at St. Petersburg City Hall, they're going to be coming back with the answers to the questions that were posed last night, right? Around housing, around education, around can the CBC members, CBAC, can the members speak with community members about the project?
So Tamika Mitchum has a question in here. How do we get the word out and garner more interest?
First, we definitely start like this with conversations about it, and then turn the conversations into action. A lot of times, like you say, Brother John, you've been talking about it, and we talking about it, and it doesn't move until we turn it into action. So if we say a meeting tonight,
this is when grassroots, is important. So the people who are passionate about this is when you start knocking on those doors. This is when you start telling everybody who has an ear about what's going on. Somebody needs to organize it outside of what the city is doing, because it's so important to our city.
I put a link in the chat also, Tamika. So if you wanted to take a look at that link and get information that you think would be relevant to like the people who are in your circle, and maybe create like a post or share it with the people in your circle, or you can, send it out however you get information out. I know you do a great job of marketing and promotions. Sharonda, we're going to tap you. So y'all click that link and then just look at what the city is saying is happening. And then y'all go ahead and do y'all thing, man. Help us get the word out, because that was another one of the things that came up last night, was about the proposed benefits. And Miss Gloria, man, she was like, yo, this ain't new. Like, these ideas and these, stuff that y'all presenting, like, we've heard this stuff before, but what's the plan? Right. How are we actually going to do it? And, mom was kind of the word. And we started we started Rubik's Cubing on the fly. And then the deflection was this. I won't call it a deflection. The response was that we're creating the space, talking about Hines Rays and their representatives. We're creating the opportunity, but it's going to be on the community to take advantage of the opportunity. And then Miss Gloria was saying, like, okay, well, look, like a lot of these programs are already in place. They're already existing. And they're struggling to get community input right now. So what are you going to do different? And they said, we ain't doing nothing different. Basically, it's going to be on, like, what are y'all community going to do different? Because we're creating the space. We're going to put the resources into it. But the community has to help us do this thing. And I want to know what your thoughts are on that. Mr.
And my biggest thought on that is there is a community responsibility, but there's also a systematic responsibility. And I said it there. They need to shoulder more responsibility. They need to have a bigger investment to get the goals that they want. Right? You got these high flung goals, but you're trying to get it with the minimest and smallest investment possible.
And then on top of it, you want the community to be involved, but make sure that the community have just as much access as well.
And
you know what I mean?
Like you want people that go from volunteers to paid employees. That's why people leaving, right? Because community members step up and do everything they can, and we in the volunteer space. Yeah. So after 5 years, I gotta move.
Yeah.
But if I would have been getting paid for my services, and like I'm talking about like Jabbar right now.
Yeah.
Right. If I would have got paid my services and paid what I'm due, my being threatened to leave wouldn't be a conversation because of my rent.
So here you go, volunteer. Everybody has volunteer, and people need volunteers, right?
Yep.
But what happened is when you volunteer, you get the time that I have left over.
Yeah, it's free time.
It's free time.
And free time.
But if I'm paid, when I'm paid,
my
it
free
becomes
time,
when I'm paid, it becomes a priority.
Yes, and the interest
and
the interest is heightened with
is.
a paycheck.
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the appreciation.
Yes, and that's why one of the main things, the first thing I said was to reach these goals, there has to be a bigger investment. And because the things you want for free and the things you want us to hopefully help you do needs to be a department.
Yeah,
people need to be paid from here
because
a department. You get
what they'll do is once you do all the free work, they'll hire somebody else to do the work that you did.
Oh no! What Jab say? They'll come in and say, "Oh, you guys are the experts. Tell us what to do." Well, why are we paying you?
Right.
Why are you getting paid?
And you see it all the time. You do the work, and then what they'll do, they'll bring somebody in who don't know nothing about nothing, but may have a degree,
and literally say, "I need you,"
and then pay them $100,000 for something. Yeah, that you done easily for what you've been doing for free. Hey. So, like, listen, we want to work with y'all, but work with us.
And if you don't know, now you know.
And then one of the problems.
So we're gonna have to like wrap it up a little bit.
We got 2 minutes.
Because all I want to say is one of the things and one of the issues that always is gonna be is because they look at you sideways when you talk about I want to make some money.
Yeah.
Right.
But
and
they want to make money.
But no, but it's what you doing it for. He just want to get paid. Well, everybody at the table getting a paycheck is me.
Right. Yeah. And I'm the expert, according to y'all.
And then we don't ask you to come to your job for free.
Yeah.
Ooh. And ain't nobody enough for free. And see, that's and only people there for free is the community folks.
Yeah, now that Community Benefits Advisory Council, that's not a paid position.
Yes, that's community folks.
So the 8 people who are making these decisions, those are volunteers. That's a volunteer position.
Thank you for that.
So thank you all for those who are volunteering to be a part of the Community Benefits
Thank you for that.
Council.
For real.
We're talking about the consultants and those who are liaisons
the paid
those other folks who are not getting paid to come out and reach out to us. But
But and don't think because you pay
is not a paid position.
You hire people, but you're not hiring me to be loyal to you. You're hiring me to give you my community expertise. And see, sometimes when you get the job, the role change.
Right.
And now I'm a representative for the person who hired me, and that ain't what we need. That ain't what we need at this point.
That model.
We don't need that at this point.
Model. So we're gonna take a break, y'all. Again, after the at the top of the hour, we got a lot too that we want to talk about. There's some more announcements. There's other events that are going on in the community.
Yeah,
it's What's on Your Mind Wednesday. So call in, let us know what's on your mind. We got to ask Kiana a question, and Mr. Edmond is going to read his presentation that he made last night at the PPAC. I want to hear your remarks, my brother. Yeah. And so y'all stick around for the radio audience. You're going to hear some news, and if you're on Facebook, this is the time for you to tag your friends and let them know, here come them folks. We up. We live.
St. Pete, Tampa, Clearwater, Largo, and all surrounding cities. Jam Device Productions present Grown Folks Old School Party with a Purpose. Yes, coming January 5th on a Friday at the Social Club and Lounge in St. Petersburg, Florida, located at 2534th Street South. Yes, $10 admission with DJ Chill on the wheels of steel and Chef Mizzle. They'll be in the kitchen. So come on out and enjoy a good time for the grown folks. Don't meet me there, but just beat me there.
Agape Soul Boutique. High-end boutique looks and quality with affordable pricing. Located at 6025 Martin Luther King Street South in St. Pete. Choose from our amazing selection of stylish, fashion-forward heels, wedges, boots, children's shoes, accessories, and much more. You can shop now and pay later, interest-free with Afterpay. Subscribe to our website and get huge savings on our latest products at AgapeSoulBoutique.com. For more information, call 727-379-1318. Come give your feet the royal treatment and check us out at Agape Soul Boutique today. Agape Soul Boutique.
Just call my phone. I can do it with emotion. Stir it up like a potion.
Stir it up like a potion.
Welcome back to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
I am your brother John.
Kiana.
I am the one and only. My brother John impression.
I think you can do a little better than that, my brother. I think you can do it better.
Why you did it?
Or just not do it at all. All right, from the top, y'all. Welcome back to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
This is Kiana.
And I'm the one and only Mr. Edmund.
And this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, aka See That?
See that.
And we'd like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool, because
smart
is the
new
gangster.
Baby.
And don't know.
Now you know.
We were talking about the historic gas plant community benefits agreement meeting last night. We also talked about 49th Street, letting y'all know that there's opportunities for you to engage, get involved. Please do so. We're also doing a Safe Streets walking audit on 49th Street on January 22nd. There'll be 2 opportunities to do that, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. and then 5:30 to 7:30. All of this will be added to d7speaks.com so you can get this information and know what's happening in the community and find out how you can get involved and participate.
You know what this weekend is? It's MLK weekend.
It is MLK weekend.
Does it feel like it?
Not to me. I don't feel like it usually do.
But it do. I feel it in the spirit and the air like Christmas. But
okay.
But that's another thing that we supposed to be having investments in from the city, and that we talked about after the lockdown of 2019, and those investments never came to fruition.
Right, they doubled the amount that they given to the.
Oh,
and from 50,000 to 100,000.
And so I know what you mean. Yeah, what we always advocated for is and more.
Yeah. Right.
Not saying because we give to them that we won't make a additional investment, because there are dollars and tourist dollars that were allocated and located with the specific purpose that can be used for this, right? Yeah. Because you have events where the city contributes multi-millions of dollars and still gives resources, right? Like, okay, the races, right? The car races, they give money and they still give resources and stuff, right? That's how they have it. That's how you put it on. The Real Fest, they give money, they give them some money, and they give them some help and some resources.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying, and they still do it with MLK, but it's to a smaller extent financially.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, we advocated to boost that financial extent. We've advocated to have signs up and down MLK Street proclaiming MLK and MLK District, just like the Innovation District. Yep. Innovation District came after this and got their signs all the way down to the Dolly Museum. You get what I'm saying? You look, the flags that say Innovation District, that's what we advocated for, to go down MLK Street doing MLK and say this is the MLK. And so, yeah. Work to be done.
I mean, it's always work to be done. So the kickoff of MLK weekend.
Okay.
It's Thursday.
Tell me about it.
Conversation and libations.
Okay.
All right. It's Let me tell you, if you sign up, get registered right now, all your drinks is free on me.
Conversations and libations.
On you, not just free. On Q. You got you.
I got you. Just when you go to the bartender, just be like, Q sent me.
Q something, man.
And they're gonna be like, you good.
You good. Oh, okay. You got that. Okay, I'm gonna do that everywhere I go from now on.
No,
you got
just here.
Conversations and libations. Where is it?
Yes, at St. Pete Distillery.
Okay. And that's Thursday.
Yes, it's Thursday from 8 to midnight. Listen, go ahead and just register. If you're thinking you're going, not sure, just go ahead and register anyway. It doesn't hurt.
Okay.
We want everybody to be in the building.
Yes, I will be there.
Yes, go ahead and register. Again, it's free. We got free food, free drinks. Donnie Love is going to be the DJ.
So Frida gonna be there. Everything free.
Frida.
Free to everybody who show up.
Frida.
Free to me.
You're free to come.
Yeah, free to come. All right, the second annual Soul Revival Art Festival and Fundraiser is also this weekend.
Yes.
Starting on Saturday.
It's going to be a heavy weekend.
The Revival Art Gala and Brunch, studio at 620. And you can get all of this information by going to, I'm trying to think of where it's at. Instagram at Happy Soul Revival, I know. And then Tamika's watching, so there we go. Tamika, if you could put a link in for the Soul Revival, we had Maya Pink come in on Monday.
Yes,
and she talked about it. It's actually
Saturday,
a fundraiser for sickle cell.
So the brunch on Saturday will be Studio
620.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Sunday it'll be on the Deuces.
Yeah,
Deuces.
From 2 to 5, and then also at the Wells.
Yeah, there's a pop-up gallery at the Wells as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so
nice work. Keep up the good work. Happening. And y'all get involved. Pull up and support.
All right. So today is National Take the Stairs Day.
I pass.
You passing? National Take.
That's a hard no.
That's a hard no. National Take the Stairs Day encourages individuals to embrace a healthier lifestyle by choosing the stairs over elevators or escalators. Celebrated annually on the second Wednesday of January, this day serves as a reminder of the importance of physical activity, even in small everyday choices. Whether at work, at home, or in public spaces, opting for the stairs contributes to increased fitness levels and improved cardiovascular health. It's a simple yet effective way to incorporate exercise into your daily routine, and you ain't taking the stairs.
So I took the stairs this weekend because my auntie stays in a brownstone, right?
Okay.
Y'all know what it is?
So it's the Cosby's, the Huxtable house.
Straight Huxtable house.
Okay.
So she owns hers, right? It has 5 levels.
Yep.
So she has
all the way up.
Yeah, she got one. She got the basement, the first floor, and all the way up to 4.
Okay.
Floors. So she reside in the first 3, the basement and the first and the second, and then she got renters for the third and the 4th.
Okay.
Right? And they walk all the way up the stairs. So we had to walk up the stairs this weekend.
Okay, but that wasn't like intentional saying I'm finna, take the stairs to improve my cardiovascular.
No. That wasn't. But I will tell you.
That wasn't what it was.
Y'all know I'm a water baby, right? Mm-hmm. I intentionally go to Adventure Island because of all the stairs. Y'all ever been to Adventure Island?
Yes. They ain't got no elevators. Big stairs. No.
That's the lazy river and the
you don't do stairs man.
I will do them a little bit, but that lets you know how to shape you out, boy.
It does.
That's real. That's a wake up.
I mean, it does. How's your
I'm killing it with the couch to 5K.
Yeah.
I'm getting better, but I'm doing 10,000 steps a day now.
Okay.
Intentionally. So, and I've been having to go get them 10,000.
That's that get your game up.
I had to go get them. Yeah, and I'm getting them. So I think last week I averaged 9,500 steps a day.
Okay.
And that's because I had a couple days, like Sunday, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think this week I'm gonna hit my 10,000
a day.
A day, yeah, 10,000 every day. Yeah, I'm really trying to do it for real, man.
Okay.
Hey, man, that's what's up, man. I mean, we support
you. So are you hitting the stairs? Would you?
I do. I take the stairs.
Yeah,
I do 3 flights. Anything over that, okay. My thighs be like, "What are you doing?"
I'm elevator, escalator.
I'm with Kiana.
No stairs.
You can keep the stairs. Boy, I be wanting when I go to City Hall. I be wanting to go through the little side though and go to the elevator.
Okay, yeah.
I want to hit the button.
Yeah. But I remember you was walking one time. I remember you used to be getting it. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna join the Child's Park Fitness Day. Big shouts out to Trustland.
Yeah,
and everybody. The Wellness Walk. I think I'm going
4th Saturday of the month.
Every 4th Saturday. I think this Saturday I'm gonna join the Wellness Walk just to you know what I'm saying, stretch my legs.
Extended the walk too. So
listen, they've been doing good. And they need the support. So Child's Park every 4th Saturday morning.
9:00.
It's different from walking and going upstairs.
It is. That's why you got the ellipticals.
This is why I get praise to the
That's why you got an elliptical.
who does the Stairmaster. People who have the endurance to do the Stairmaster.
Stairmaster.
So call in. Would you take the stairs?
Or the elevator. What y'all doing?
What's on your mind Wednesday at the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club? Cara Festa Radio 99 Jam.
I say we tip the scale with most people are not taking them stairs.
I'm with them.
National Shareholders Day is also today. So National Shareholders Day is a celebration recognizing the importance of shareholders in the business world. Held annually on the second Monday of January. It acknowledges the investors who invest in a company by purchasing stocks.
So, I got a question because that's what I was thinking about last night. How does the community become a shareholder in the profits of the gas plant redevelopment. How do we go from a one-time payment, like to stretch the money game, and hope we get it back on taxes, hope that we get it back in tourism, hope we get it back in traffic? How do we become an investor? How we go from stakeholder to shareholder?
Yeah,
right.
Question. Great question.
I'm just talking.
Yeah, that's actually on my list. Because I want to know too. That's a really great question. I don't have the answer, but we can push through it. Workout Wednesday, hosted by Pinellas County Urban League, is today at 5:30 at Enoch Davis Center as well, y'all.
Workout Wednesday, y'all.
Wednesday, workout for me. Yeah, so join at Urban League.
I have started working out though.
Okay.
Again,
How's
but
it
I
going?
haven't been doing the pool. But I've been working out.
That's what's up. How you feeling?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get.
I'm not excited yet.
Okay.
Oh, but you're right though. I feel that.
Yeah, I'm not excited.
I'm saying
you're still making yourself go.
Yeah. I'm saying I gotta get excited. I be going out the crew. Big shots out to my dog, Big P.
Okay.
He is been doing some training at Crutel.
Right.
And so I've been going in. You know, he very reasonable and he push you.
No, I hear that.
No excuses. They be like on no excuses. No
There's
excuses.
no excuses for real.
Yeah.
Big shots out there.
Tweet
No
said
excuses.
she take the stairs, but she said I don't know how long that's gonna last though with this knee.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
That's that almost 40 or
That's what made me break up with the guy doggone stairs.
Real
That doggone knee pain.
Real deal, man. So a tornado touchdown too.
I know. I seen
It went
that.
through my grandmother's yard.
Wow.
Facts.
Wow.
It probably went through a couple other people. When I was in Walmart as it was going on.
In Walmart when the tornado was happening?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And it went through their backyard?
It went through it went through my grandmother's yard, but I was in Walmart. I didn't see it.
So I officially named the storm that is the global warming rain. Right.
Okay.
So the rain that happened, that was global warming. I've lived all my life and witnessed rain. It was sheets.
Yeah.
And it was blowing. It wasn't just pouring down.
It was like
You
that
get what I'm saying?
dump type. Yeah.
It wasn't just pouring down straight down. It was
The
like
rain
blowing,
inside.
and sheets. I'm like, oh man.
Yep. So
That's why I posted that. Y'all be careful out there. That thing look ugly.
So the tornado confirmed as an EF0 with peak wind gusts of 82 miles an hour. Lasted less than a minute, causing damage to an apartment building and power lines near 6th Street South in St. Petersburg. The National Weather Service issued multiple severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings as the storms moved through Tampa Bay area. Again, wind gusts reaching 63 miles an hour in Gulfport, South Pinellas County, experienced severe damage, including falling trees, property damage, with residents reporting the possibility of additional tornadoes, but they haven't been confirmed. And flooding concerns persisted in many Pinellas County neighborhoods.
And it got hot too. It got hot
before or after?
Yeah, it was kind of warm before.
Oh, when yeah.
And then next thing you know, that rain came like.
I think like I say, we got to keep an eye on,
And now it's cold today.
The environment and the environment around us.
Change.
We got to take a good look at what we doing and the things we can do personally to improve the environment. And little ass picking up trash, big ass, you know what I'm saying, not blowing smoke out your factory.
Well, that was a big range.
Yeah. From the bottom to the top, baby.
Wow. All right. And then also, we've been talking about this as well. The St. Pete Black population has been continuing to decline. So over 4 years, there's been a staggering 10% reduction in the Black population in St. Petersburg, while the rest of Pinellas County is seeing growth. So they're saying urban migration, COVID-19 impacts, and other things are contributing to this trend. There's a survey that's being put out right now to gather your thoughts and to hear why you think people leaving St. Pete, and why you think Black people are leaving St. Pete. And you can actually take that survey by going to bit.ly/leaving St. Pete and take the survey. And then there's a report that'll be coming out towards the end of the month to let you know what the people are saying. Like, this is why we leaving or why we stay here.
So I think the number one thing, like I said, and this is just my humble opinion, I think is pay inequity. It starts with Black people getting paid drastically less. The average white family had like $50,000, $60,000 income in this area, and the average Black family was $20,000 to $30,000 less. That's that $1,200, $1,500, $2,000 rent.
Yeah.
Do the math. Right? Do the math. If you talking about $20,000 down, so I can pay $2,000 a month for 12 months with an extra $24,000 to my paycheck. Pay us, man. I think that begins it all. That's what I was talking about last night. And before I want to get in, but because if you realize it, if you pay me less for 10 years, right? My income gonna be that much lower. But imagine you paying me less for 50 years.
Right.
The sanitation workers had a strike in the 50s, 60s.
1968, yep.
About pay inequity. They got a 2% raise, a 1% raise.
At that time.
Yeah. At that time.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And it continued. And it's going unchecked. The biggest employers, I guarantee you once they look at their payroll and do a equity audit,
right,
it's easily seen. The social justice organizations, right? The nonprofits, right? They paying, especially black men. They cuff us so hard under the table, it's ridiculous. I need to get off the soapbox.
No, you good. I'm actually looking for a link here. JP put a question in there, and JP, I'm trying to find a link to the report.
JP say, I wonder if they look at the income versus race and how that population decline looks. Yes, they do have those studies. They've been doing those studies, and these reports have been coming out since 2020, 2019. And we're living the results of those studies. We're seeing the end result of the lack of pay equity.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because once you pay me, if we're doing the same thing and I'm getting $20,000 less, of course I gotta move. Are you serious?
Yeah, a lot of people are like, they just can't afford it.
Yeah, so y'all give us a call, man. Call in, share your thoughts. It's What's on Your Mind Wednesday, and we talking about all the things. Real quick, and then we're going to come back to Mr. Edmonds. Mr. Edmonds going to actually do his presentation that he made at the community benefits meeting last night. But I want to talk about this too. There was a Yale Divinity School professor, Ebony Marshall. Yeah, she filed a lawsuit. This ain't the other one that you might be thinking about.
Gay?
Not her. This is Ebony Marshall Turnman. She filed a lawsuit against Abyssinian Baptist Church in New York, alleging gender discrimination in the process of selecting a senior pastor. The lawsuit claims inappropriate questioning and reveals open discussions about their preference of a male pastor. So she accuses the church and the search committee chair of gender discrimination, citing tailored and inappropriate questions during an interview process compared to her male counterparts. The lawsuit highlights discussions within the committee, including statements expressing a reluctance to hire a woman as a senior pastor, suggesting gender bias influenced the decision. The church is denying the discrimination. Abyssinian Baptist Church denies the claim, stating that Marshall fell short of key requirements for the role. Committee chair argues that the tailored questions were based upon their individual backgrounds and not gender. So out of the 47 applicants, Marshall Turnman was one of 11 who advanced to the interview process but did not receive enough votes to proceed in the final round.
Yes.
The lawsuit seeks unspecified monetary damages for lost wages, benefits, and emotional distress. And it also aims for an injunction against hiring related to gender discrimination. And one of the reports that I read said that there was a particular member of the committee who said that they would only pick a woman to be pastor over his dead body. So women in the pastoral, like we're talking about gender and pay and equity, like women still like struggling to get positions in church. Kiana, what is that reaction?
I'm trying to.
We defer to our resident woman.
I just see like you just having all kind of reaction.
Yeah, my mic. I don't really, to be honest, like I need a little bit more information.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
more content.
I need to know what was the questions.
Okay.
You know what I mean? What was it before so here you go. Woman or not, I'm a fair person.
Okay.
Him.
And
I believe that.
I can't just go just because,
she ain't get it and she's suing.
Right. Yeah, like, cause right now to me right now, I'm not
You're not convinced.
I'm not convinced.
Okay.
I can say that, and I'm not saying I'm right or wrong about that. I'm just not convinced. You ain't gave me
on business, yeah.
You know what? Tell me
stand on business
when it's coming in. Like, I mean, yeah.
I hear that though.
I just want to know what was it, because if they wasn't, you got further than most.
Yeah, it was 47. She was in the 11 that made it to the interview process.
So she got further than most.
So if they were just kicking out women, then she wouldn't have made that far?
No, I'm not saying that either, because I've been, like, I know when I've been there. I've been there. So like I said, I know that.
Which side? The hiring side or the interviewee?
She done been on both.
No,
I'm going
like,
to say this one. I've been there. Like, I know I got hired to be a manager at Denny's because I fit their quota. I was black.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What they call an equity hire.
I knew this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I also was qualified for it. But there was already 3 strikes against me when I did that. I was the youngest, I was a female, and I was black.
Right.
So I hit a lot of check marks for them in one person.
Yeah. No, I hear that.
How did you feel being an equity hire? How did that make you feel?
I did my job. So you
like, dang, I'm an equity hire.
No,
I did.
You
feel like you had to prove something, or you had something like, yeah, what is that?
I mean, I think I proved that I can get the job done. That's why I got it. You know what I mean? Okay. I think those was components to it. Like when you look at, if they had,
so it wasn't only because you were a woman. It was because you were a woman that gave you some more points, but you also was qualified.
I was qualified for the job, but
and the bonus for them was that you was a woman
and that I was black.
Okay,
you know what I mean? They had to, they had to fulfill this role. So if they had to give it to anybody, why not me?
No, I hear that. Also talking about systemic barriers, there's a lawsuit exposing racial discrimination in home loan approvals. There was a recent class action lawsuit against Navy Federal Credit Union filed by civil rights attorney Ben Crump on behalf of Black women who were denied home loans.
I should have applied.
It brings to light the persistent challenges that African Americans face in becoming homeowners. The lawsuit sheds light on the deeply ingrained racial disparities in the mortgage approval process and the broader issue of the widening racial homeownership gap in America. The lawsuit basically says that the Navy Federal Credit Union cited instances where Black applicants were denied despite being equally or more qualified than their white counterparts. There's plaintiffs in the lawsuit who are both highly qualified individuals. They face denials, raising questions about the fairness of their process. Then you have the cases that emphasize the role that credit plays. They had strong financial standings, and in some cases stronger than their white counterparts, but they were denied as well. The lawsuit is arguing that Navy Federal Credit Union violated the Equal Credit Opportunity Act and the Fair Housing Act and is seeking restitutionary relief, compensatory damage, and punitive damages. And the plaintiffs are demanding reforms in the credit union's loan approval process to ensure the equitable treatment of minority applicants.
I agree with this one.
Okay.
But I understand, like, so when you look at systems are put in place, but people run these systems.
Yep, that's right.
And so when you do that, even though all this stuff is put in place so that this wouldn't happen,
the policy
and the system is set there. But again, if John don't like you, and he's the one that's running it.
Yeah,
take me back.
The institutional practices.
Yeah, so it's just not. And I bank with Navy Federal.
Yeah, Navy Federal was like one of the hacks people would tell you to help fix your credit.
I remember
so when this came, it hit people a certain way.
Darren, what's good, man?
Because big shots out, Darren, man. What's good with you? But I think that this has been going on. We get targeted with predatory loans. We get targeted with higher interest rates. We get targeted by the things that help hinder our community, and it's systematic, right?
Yeah.
The banks are doing this without a law being said that they got to do it. This is just their policy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Bank of America was doing something else shady, right? So now put all the banks together. Remember, Bank of America just had a little grant because of all the shady stuff they was doing to people.
Yeah,
that was their way of trying to correct it. Yeah, but but we don't even know about the fidelity of how that is being done, because once they say they're doing it, don't nobody look over there no more.
Right. And
you know what I mean?
And they said that the recent data from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau reveals the stark contrast in approval rates between white and black borrowers at Navy Federal. While over 75% of white borrowers were approved for new conventional home purchase mortgages, less than 50% of black borrowers received approvals, marking one of the widest approval rate gaps among major lenders.
That's almost as wide as the income gap here in Pinellas County.
Yeah.
Wow.
By numbers.
Yeah. And so some of the recommendations that they said is that having the financial institutions maintain transparency in their lending practices, ensuring that the decisions are based on merit rather than biases. But to your point, Q, you can have these policies in place, but if the institutional practices of that person who's sitting behind that desk, because we don't work enough jobs to know it's like a way that is in the book they want you to do the job. But
then the way they want you to do the job.
But then when you're getting trained, it's like, okay, I know that books say that we're supposed to do it this way.
But we don't do that.
Yeah, we don't do that.
As soon as the cameras go off,
Listen, don't move that like that. You move it like this.
And they only do the price. So just make sure you come in the day when the boss is coming in.
That's how you do it.
That's when you do it that day.
They give you the look.
What it said in the book, we only do that 2 times a year.
When the boss show up.
Right.
And this is something that is really hurting the black community, because when you think about what we're talking about, black people leaving St. Petersburg, and that's a part of it, because they went to Navy Federal and they was inside of that 50% that didn't get qualified for the loan that they qualified for, right? And they buy their house in their neighborhood. They want to reinvest in their grandma house. They want to fix it and get the codes compliance up so they can get the CRA grant, right? They want to have that float money, and they couldn't get it because of systematic racism.
And usually credit unions are easier to get money.
If you can't get it from there, you can't get it. If you can't get it from a credit union, you might can't get it.
Yeah, one thing I learned too, credit unions are co-ops. Y'all know when we was doing that for cooperative business development. Credit unions are co-ops, and that's why you get
a little bag.
Do you bank with a credit union?
I do.
I bank at a credit union too. Yeah. That's why you get a little something back. It ain't much, but that's why you get a little dividend.
Right.
If you got a little something in there, if you supposed to get access to the loans, you know what I'm saying? And some of these credit unions, especially the ones like around here, some of them they supposed to have special quotas and numbers they supposed to hit with lending inside of the community that they're in. Specifically, like GTE, they had agreements that was written, and I don't know if they're performing them up to fidelity. I don't know how. I don't know how. What's the measurement of tracking it? But
and that's another one of them things where it talks about is recommendations, is the transparency piece. Like after you put these policies in place,
how do we track it?
How do you track it? When do you come in
Banks,
and report?
get y'all stuff together.
Pretty much.
Navy Federal.
Yeah.
And Bank of America. Wells
being,
Fargo.
So Bank of America is ranked number one.
Man,
is like
might be an indictment
right there. Because
on the banking institution.
PNC was like third on there. And I can't
like the worst ones.
Yeah, the top 3 worst
against us.
No, just in general. But PNC.
Okay.
Was number 3 on this list. I know Bank of America was number 1. I can't remember exactly who it was. It might have been Wells Fargo, but I don't think so. Okay. I gotta figure. I banked with Navy Federal and Chase.
But I think honestly, like I say, I think honestly, this sounds like an indictment on the banking system again. This feels like redlining, but in our face, clear lining, right? We ain't boxed out where you can't go. I just ain't gonna give you the money. I'm gonna give you the money at a lesser rate or a slower rate. You know what I'm saying? This stunt your growth.
I know you equally or more qualified.
This stunt your growth. Yeah. It's not even about my financials. It's not about securing my loan, you know what I'm saying? That's what happened to the credit when the housing crashed. Is because they were predatory lending to people.
Yeah, they relaxed the regulations
to cut your throat.
Yeah, we can do that. There's a rising danger faced by Black delivery drivers. So the alarming trend of racially motivated attacks against Black delivery drivers is gaining attention once again, following a recent incident involving an Amazon driver in Houston, Texas. Jemiah Miller found herself at the center of an assault, captured on video where racial slurs were hurled at her, and she was physically attacked by 2 white women. This incident sheds light on the increasing dangers faced by Black delivery drivers from racist individuals. So in her attack, the video
I
footage.
saw the video.
You saw the video?
I saw the video.
And you had to see the story like they attacked her.
Why did you leave it? And she was like, wait, hold, they trying to take
the package.
They gonna take the package.
And I'm dropping it off.
This ain't your package, man.
And they was like, you supposed to leave that at the front desk or something.
But the instructions clearly said deliver it to the
suite.
door.
Yeah.
I think it need to be a law written, like when the Asians were getting attacked and Biden came out, or
Let's do that. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I think it need to be a law protecting black delivery black canvassers. You know what I'm saying? People that knock on doors, and you can't attack me if I'm clearly kicking the game with you, and I ain't taking nothing, and now I'm a criminal.
I think that common sense ain't common type things. Like
it's not.
You would think that you would know you can't bother me if I'm not committing a crime. But I mean,
but they're gonna say that
but
I
you sitting in
feel
your house
threatened.
while black. You running while black. You in the park watching birds while black.
Yeah, I mean, living while black.
You sleep while black.
Yeah.
Listen, you're just black.
Yeah.
And then
yeah. So another couple. So that was one of the cases, and then they said that the video footage captured the aggressor spewing racist tropes, physically attacking Miller, and even ripping the package from her hand. She highlighted the racial aspect of the encounter, emphasizing the challenges of being a black woman in predominantly white neighborhoods. And then there was also another incident of a black delivery driver facing racial confrontations. A FedEx driver in Georgia faced threats and racial slurs from a customer. And this was somebody who he left the package at their door and was leaving. And the dude came like outside of the house after he was leaving and like had this whole issue with him. And he's like, man, look, leave me alone. Go ahead.
You don't see this brown uniform I got on?
Yeah.
I got other people I got to deliver to.
Oh, but in that video, bro was about it though. He was like, hey man, you like, look, that's your property, this public street. Like whatever you say you gonna do to me, come on this side over here.
And watch that.
So and that's what we don't want to get into a bunch of confrontations with people about our work, but about our work. You get what I'm saying? I gotta expect a fight to go to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it need to be legislation. I think that we need somebody to write a bill, just like they writing the bill to boy. If I talk about, we're gonna talk about legislative session.
Yeah, we are.
Because we have to talk about, and it won't be today. But they making laws for everything and everything against us, and so they need to make a law to help us.
Right, and so we're at that time now. So if you were paying attention earlier, or if you might have missed it, last night there was a community benefits agreement meeting to talk about the community benefits of the historic gas plant redevelopment. And that meeting allows for public comment, for you to come in and say your piece. They give you 3 minutes to talk about it while they're making deliberations about the community benefits. Okay. And Mr. Edmond was there last night, and we want to hear Mr. Edmond's thoughts. Mr. Edmond.
So last night, I usually don't speak at a lot of this stuff, but I just really thought it was important for me to speak. I'm gonna read a little bit of it. You know, first thing I said was I feel that it needs to be a bigger commitment to reach the ambitious goals that have been written out. I don't think the money that's being allocated can complete the mission.
Okay.
Right? There's a lot of anecdotal conversation and words being used, but the reality is to reach the level of participation that's needed to reach these goals, there has to be a significantly higher investment. The next thing I said, we must get out of the endless job cycle that's being planned.
Okay.
It's what's being planned right now is thinking that the jobs are going to produce, the income for people to stay here. And we already talked about the income inequality. Right. So one of the things that they talked about as well was having rent offsets so people could afford to do business in that district. Right. And in my mind, I said, well, rent offsets are good, but ownership is great.
Yeah. Right.
What is a better offset than me owning the building? Right. Mm-hmm. When I'm not paying nothing but taxes. Right. I'm paying my light bill. I'm paying my water bill.
Right.
You can't offset nothing more than that. And so in the plan, there does need to be rent offsets.
Yeah.
Also, there needs to be ownership plans.
Yeah.
Ownership considerations.
And I want to be clear. We're talking about because they talked about commercial rent subsidies, basically.
Yes.
So that you can afford to rent a building downtown. That's what you referring to.
Yes, I'm talking about commercial rent, commercial buildings. Because like I told him, my family was the last business that set in the gas plant.
Right.
The last building to get knocked down. Right. And the honest to God fact is I want an opportunity to own there. Right. To return to where my family was.
Right.
Right. To continue my family history. Right. They own on the corner of 5th Avenue and 16th Street. Right. The VIP parking lot. That was my family business.
Right.
Right. So how can I get back there? Right. In that plan, I don't see a way. Right. And that's what I wanted to tell them. I'm like, hey, y'all, I hear people talking about, everything. Right. But I just don't hear us talking about ownership, dirt ownership of the property that we own. And you can't honor the history of the gas plant without having Black ownership. That is the historic Black neighborhoods. It was nothing but Black ownership, Black churches, Black businesses, bars. That's all it was. Yeah. But to return to that and to honor that without ownership, we're not honoring it. Right on. It's kind of like lip service, because if we really I'm just saying, if we want to be true to it, we have to have ownership components, because we own things here. This is a Black Wall Street that didn't get burned down. We kind of got undercut, but
I got demolished.
That's what I mean, undercut. Okay. Next, and then I said, so I didn't really get here, y'all.
So give it to us.
So okay, this is what I was. One of the things that was said is that a business owner has the opportunity to be next to the ballpark. My thought was that the ballpark has the opportunity to be next to a business.
Okay.
Right? They have an opportunity to be next to us, and changing the way we look at the relationship. Okay. Right? Because we're just like we have an opportunity to be next to the ballpark has the opportunity to be next to the small business, which is the hallmark of America. This community is made off small business, not big businesses. Right? The fabric of this nation is small businesses. Right? So the big businesses can be honored to be next to us. And just let's look at it different, because then we're going to talk about it different, and then we're going to move a little different. Because if you think all the plus sides and the pluses come from your side without acknowledging the pluses from my side,
it's the prize.
Yeah, like wait, hold on. I'm something too. I'm something too.
I'm finna start your 3-minute time.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's what I did.
And then we're gonna do ask.
Okay, so and one of the things that I said, that every opportunity that's been good for St. Petersburg, has been, some of them has been horrible for the Black community. So as we look at this as, this is great for St. Pete.
Okay.
But the Tropicana Field was great for St. Pete too. But what was it to the Black community?
There you go.
Right? It was horrible.
Yeah.
600 businesses. They said 600. That's what they said. If I'm wrong, they said 600.
That's how many businesses were
there. Man. Okay. I'm just saying. Okay. Boom.
Hey, seafood.
I think that public input should be continuous throughout this process, from conception, right, to completion. I don't think there should be deadlines on community input. The concrete isn't wet. Don't tell me I only have 20 days to talk about something that's going to last 30 years.
Okay.
That's unfair, right? That's unfair no matter what process y'all talking about, because it's still 6 or 7 votes that need to be had. So why is my input only being collected for 20 days? Why are we only having 34 meetings for 30 days for a project that may last to 2047 on the good side?
Yeah.
2047, that's 23 years. We talked about it. It's 23 years. I thought it was longer than that. So boom, I just think it should be continuous community input opportunities. I don't think that the door should be closed when these deadlines come, right? Mm-hmm. And I know there should be deadlines, but at the same time, there shouldn't be a deadline on equity, right?
Okay.
There shouldn't be a deadline saying, if you don't get here now, you better hurry up. Come on now, that's kind of side-eye. You know what I'm saying? Boom. And one of the things I was saying, as a stakeholder, I look at myself as a stakeholder in this redevelopment. I look at the community. We stakeholders, right. And I want to transfer stakeholders to shareholders.
Yes, sir.
How does the community benefit from this property into perpetuity?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? How do we benefit from this property, right, when the partials are split up, right? And they're I don't know if they're going to be sold. I don't know how they're going to do it, because I've heard several things. Some people say they're going to sell them. Some people say they're not going to sell them and nobody can buy them. And then the conversation has been changing.
Yeah.
Because I've been keeping up.
Yeah.
because last night I heard something a little different from what I've been hearing.
And I think a lot of the change, not a lot, but some of the changes have been as a result of the feedback that they're receiving from community. And so don't undermine, I don't think we should minimize the impact of this community input, because a lot of times we do, and we've seen it and we've experienced it. So it's not unjustified.
Okay.
Where when you come in and you're like, okay, the cake is already baked, the concrete's already, hard. And then you got me coming in like I'm giving you my input, but really it's just checking off a box. Right. What I've been seeing is like some of the feedback and some of the input has been getting hearings and moving some things around in this agreement, but we have to continue. So I hear that about being engaged. Know that the engagement doesn't just show up in forms of online petitions, but you have the community benefits agreement meetings. We talked about when that schedule is, but then you also have your city council meetings, because again, the final say is going to be with the St. Pete City Council.
So the city council still have a vote.
The city council has to approve these agreements. And so what the CBAC is doing right now, the work that you're contributing to right now with your comments, is a set of recommendations that will come to the city council for approval, because those recommendations at the CBAC, when they put it, they say, okay, yeah, this is what we want. You know what I mean? This is what we're trying to do. And then the council will take those recommendations and then, either move them forward, modify them, or reject them outright. So the process is still going. The concrete is not dry, as you said. I like that. And what else you told them?
So, and one of the things,
you can try to call in now. Go ahead.
So, and also one of the things, that I want to be really really like drill down on was having the community input, right? Thinking we must focus on opportunities that last into perpetuity, right? I see Margaret would say they got to have deadlines, and I understand no deadlines must be had, right? But the reality is, when we structure deals properly, we get to benefit into perpetuity. There's the Wiki Wachi Fund, where the city of St. Pete gets money from right now. If you don't know what the Wiki Wachi Fund, that's how that skate park was built. But the reason I'm saying that is because they're getting money into perpetuity from the Wiki Wachi Fund. They sold it, right?
I just don't want you to go too far on that line today.
But that's what I'm saying, is that there are deals and there's precedents where property has been sold and transferred, where there is still a residual return from. Right. And we must look into those models if we really want to reach the goals that they're saying they're trying to reach.
Heard. What else you told them, man?
That's what I'm saying. Oh, damn thing. So
look,
boom.
This is the overflow. So they give you 3 minutes. You had like 10 minutes worth of speech, and we trying to give you the other 10, but you
So I feel that some of the incentives are kind of like reverse incentives. And what I mean by reverse incentives is mean that we're paying for the incentives through the price breaks that we're giving. Right. So when you say I'm going to give you $50 million, well, really, if I charge you what it's worth, I'm going to have 10 billion or something crazy.
Okay. Right.
You get what I'm saying? So let's talk more along the lines of profit sharing, because you don't want to pay me what it's worth. And I know it. Right. So guess what? There's a room for us to negotiate.
But they don't want to pay us what it's worth, but they're going to charge us so much more money to make sure that they got a profit.
Yes. That's what they said. Profit on parking, profit on. It's so many lanes of profit. And that's where the negotiation table is open for us to negotiate ways for the community to continually profit, to have a continuous funding source.
Because they're going to charge premium prices.
Yeah, it's not a one-time funding source.
So I'll tell you what, for those who were not able to attend and participate in the meeting last night, I think the recording is still probably being processed. It's usually like a day or two after that. Yeah. What we'll do is we'll do a special replay of the community benefits agreement policy. Community council meeting on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. We'll post that for y'all so that you can actually see the meeting, see the questions that were raised, get an idea of like what the process is, and maybe by next Tuesday you all will be inspired to go in and add your voice to the voices of those who are trying to make sure that this deal is in the best interest of the community and that we receive equity across the board. So I want to thank you again, Mr. Edmond, for your contribution.
And I want to say this: we organizing.
Efforts,
I want to say we organizing a community conversation around this. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it this month. We're working on a date right now, so y'all stick and stay. You want to be involved? We're gonna organize around it. That means not only are we gonna go to the meetings that the city, the Hines Rays that are having city council meetings, but we're gonna hold our own meetings to discuss what we need, what we looking for, so we can go in with a united front.
Right on.
Right, so we can go in, singing the song of the community.
Thank you for that, and I appreciate it. It's definitely much needed, and let's make it happen. All right, that's Kiana.
All right.
In the time we have left. So Ask Kiana is being brought to you as a part of being brought to you by the One Community Grocery Co-op. So that you can take control with the One Community Grocery Co-op, our community-owned retail grocery store. Join us as an owner and help build a thriving store that meets the community needs for fresh, healthy, and nutritious food. Your ownership makes a difference. You can visit ocgc.coop or attend an upcoming event to learn more about how you can be a part of a healthier future.
Yes.
And now we do Ask Kiana. So, dear Kiana, I recently made a decision to stop drinking to break the cycle of addiction in my family. However, my spouse isn't very supportive and continues to drink in front of me and even teases me about it. This hurts, especially considering my history and struggles with addiction. How can I navigate this situation and get the support I need from my spouse?
Okay, so your struggle is not their struggle, unfortunately.
Oh.
I mean, this is.
Oh.
I mean, you probably wasn't expecting that.
No.
You wasn't.
I know you're trying to stop, but that ain't my struggle. Good luck with that. Pastor.
And the only reason why I can say that I've seen couples who navigate this.
Okay.
I've seen couples who navigate where one person really could. One was overboard drinking and needed to stop.
Okay.
For all the reasons. Yeah. And the other one is a social drinker, and this is their wind down. This is how, they find their relaxation. They're not using it as an abuse.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so
they drink responsibly, as they say.
Right. And so, unfortunately, when you're going on a path of rehabilitation, it's your path. You know what I mean? You're connected to somebody who's drinking. You can have the conversation of like, can you please not do it in the household? Only do it here. You can make rules. This is a communication that needs to be had. And so there's no alcohol in the house so that you're not tempted to take that drink. You know what I mean? So I think there's guidelines and barriers that you need to put in place. But to ask them to stop drinking, and if they're not abusing it, they may not want to, unfortunately.
And what I wanted to say, there is a thin line between casual and recreational use and addiction. Sometimes people don't know the difference, so it's hard to walk that line. So kind of knowing, because the other person might see you drink, you like me.
Yeah.
You think you ain't like me, but yeah, I'm probably a little more, I take a few shots solo when you only do it around people, but you drinking just as much as me. We busting bottles. So you got to listen to your partner and hear him. Don't just, you know what I'm saying, feel like, oh, well, okay. It's
I'm
on
going to
you.
tell you, so it's just like, once you got to realize, just like you had to come to terms with this.
That's agreed.
Is that the other person may not meet you right there at the same time that you at. And just like, because somebody else wanted you to stop before you did.
Yeah, agreed.
And they gave you some grace to get there.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I mean? Just because you're in a partnership does not mean that y'all at the same place at the same time. Facts. But what you do need to do is make sure that y'all are considerate and y'all are communicating and y'all are trying to be accommodating to each other.
Yeah.
Margaret said, just because you want to change, you can't expect the other person to change. And that takes me back to our conversation, I want to say Friday, when we talked about the expectations you know, that you have for your partner to grow and change as you're growing and changing. And I guess it's like speaking to different levels, right? Because we talked about the growth mindset. You know, you don't want the person who you with to stay at the same place.
Yes.
You level it up. You want your partner,
you
want them to level up as well. And so here's another example of a person, whether you consider this a level up, like this is a change that they're making.
What if I don't want to level up?
Yeah, this is a positive change that they're making in their lives to try and improve something, and to look for that support from your spouse. I think is something that they might have expected. And
the support
do they have a right to expect that?
So you have a right to expect that your spouse is going to support your decision.
Because it says she even teases me about it. So I can just imagine what that is.
Oh,
my spouse isn't very supportive and continues to drink in front of me and even teases me about it.
Yeah.
So again,
that's going from
that ain't acceptable.
Yeah, that is probably not. But I'm going to tell you,
it's probably
not because you can't tease people about their addiction.
I'm going to tell you what happens is if she's teasing you about it, or he, because
it's childish.
No, what happened is it's probably the dynamics of their relationship.
Okay.
And you know they do, because people
you gonna tease me about addiction?
People do that.
I'm struggling.
People take the hardest.
That's it. That's all.
But and I think that's kind of the issue here.
But because he's struggling with it.
I heard that is the issue.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Because he's struggling with it. But I bet you, if
it's not that you not supportive, it's you continuing to do it and you teasing me.
And you know I'm struggling with it.
Yeah.
So what happens? I bet you, if we peel back this onion right here, this is the dynamics of their relationship.
Okay.
Is that they make fun of hard topics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, they need to go talk to a therapist.
Because I guarantee, I can almost guarantee that if she didn't start teasing him on just this.
Yeah, they probably tease. They tease each other on things.
And her defense, sitting up here, she like, wait, hold on, this is what we always do.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Okay.
Yeah,
I hear what we do. But
you're serious now.
But it's out of pocket.
But what happened is, it's not that this is just a sore subject, because he's having a hard time to overcome it. So instead, like, I'm glad you wrote Kiana, but you need to sit down and talk to her or him.
Kiana, you might be their therapist, right?
And say, hey,
no,
really, you need to sit down and say, hey, this is a different path for me. I'm not comfortable where I'm at. This is where the vulnerability comes in your relationship, and allow your partner to help you. You really got to sit down, like, hey, it hurts me when you do this because I'm really struggling.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go back. They got to hear the sincereness in your voice, because this may not have been the first time that you stopped drinking. You know what I mean? You might have said it before and didn't, you know? And so, I mean, people want to take you for your word, but sometimes it don't stand for anything.
Yeah. No, I hear that.
And these are just different points that I'm trying to,
those heavy points.
But these are things that happens. But sit down and really have a conversation. But
in the era of standing on business, you say they don't stand on nothing.
Right. So
you ain't standing on nothing.
Real deal. Well, thank you for that again. They asked us questions.
You blocked something?
Yes, they needed to be.
Oh, okay. I don't know what they were saying.
Listen, we ain't here for the games. We here for everything but the games. Who said we blocked something? Who said that? Yeah.
No trolls. I hear we be having trolls.
Man, stand on business when you come around us.
Yeah.
Don't waver.
Stand on business, don't waver.
But good luck with your sobriety.
Real deal.
That's right.
Good luck with your sobriety. And I'm going to tell you, so a little trick that I told somebody else who kind of struggling with it and really wanted a drink and was trying to find ginger ale and pineapple juice.
A drink to stop. Oh, no, I'm going to tell you the best drink.
No, I'm just saying right here, I'm not a drinker, but ginger ale and pineapple juice, I've heard, and drinkers who stop, I told them that because somebody else told me.
So like when you go out and you with people who drinking, you order a ginger ale and pineapple juice?
And it gives you kind of that still without the alcohol.
So listen, I'm going to tell you, go to Urban Drinker and get a mocktail.
There you go.
Yes.
So I was battling drinking. This is going to be my final thoughts. Just trying to better myself and not drink all the time. Every time I go out, social drinker, not doing that. And so I get a mocktail.
Okay.
For big shots out to King Ree, Miss Peanut, always get a mocktail. a fruity something,
yeah,
and just lean
that way, if
back.
You want to have something in your hand,
yeah, and lean back, and then you think I'm drinking. Hey, toast, yeah.
You put your glass.
So people don't know.
It's pineapple juice.
It's pineapple.
And ginger ale.
Hey,
so my first
with
drink
pomegranate.
Moxel is good. My first one when I used to go to the clubs was a Shirley Temple.
Yes, the Shirley Temple with grenadine, and then I drank the Corona with grenadine. But we getting off subject.
Oh yeah.
So
because that was alcohol. But go ahead, Corona.
Y'all, thank y'all. Be involved. Tuesdays, there's a lot going on. Every Tuesday is gonna be the CBA meeting. Talking about the community benefits agreement that is going on around the Tropicana or the gas plant redevelopment. Tuesday, 5:30. Meet me there. We gonna go in deep next time. We gonna make them open up the overflow room, y'all.
Real deal, man. Look, it's more that needs to be done and needs to be said. So I thank y'all for tuning in, letting us into your homes and into your cars. And we'll be back on Freestyle Friday.
All right. So Thursday, 2 days. Wait, that's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Yeah. One wake up away from Conversation and Libations. Please make sure that you register. Hope to see you in the building. Be the change you want. And write down those 5 things. And stay tuned to Sister Hugh.
Make you lose your shoes and shout all around the house. Yeah. So this has been the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
This is Kiana.
And I'm the one and only Mr. Edmund.
And we out.